Hello, thank you for joining me today. We have another everyday makeup drawer. I did my very first one of the year back in January. I mentioned I'll be doing these every couple of months, and I finally got around to being able to do another one. So this one will be the makeup that I'm wearing for the rest of March and for most of April. I mentioned in my last video that I was looking for a new vanity, a new makeup desk, one that had more drawers in it so that I could hold all my makeup in one place. And I took the Alex 9 drawer that I was using to hold my makeup and I moved that to a different part of the house to store other things. And I am very happy to report that I found a beautiful refurbished mid-century desk through Facebook Marketplace. And I love it. I love the color. I have my same glass topper that I had on my last desk. I moved it over to this desk, so I still have the glass to protect the wood. The way I'm going to set this video up is I'm going to actually bring everything here so it's all in one place. So what I'll do is I'll talk about all the stuff that I was wearing for the past 2 months. I'll talk about all the products over here that are my empties. I'll talk about the things that I'm keeping or putting back and why. I'll talk about the new additions to my collection, some new makeup that I have gotten either purchasing it myself or through PR. And then I'll go through each drawer and pick out products from each category to add to my new makeup basket. So without further ado, let's look really quick at all of these makeup empties. This is all empty makeup that I have finished in the last 2 months. I'm going to go over them really quickly, and then I did put out an empties video very recently where I went through each of these in great detail. So if you're looking for reviews or just more in-depth information about these, I will direct you to that video because my empties videos are just makeup now. And I do have a few declutters that I have at the very end of that video too. So I have this primer from Milani, the SPF BFF. I have this primer from Too Faced, the Primed and Peachy, and then I have the Jelly Pop primer from e.l.f. So this was a really great couple of months for using up primers. I don't go through primers that quickly. These were all pretty much empty whenever I brought them in. I finished this mini foundation from Tarte. This is the Hydroflex C foundation in the shade 12N Fair Neutral, the Kosas concealer in the shade 3.2, the Flower Beauty color corrector. This one was one that I had been wearing for a very long time. I'm really excited about that one. This little mini concealer from Tarte. This is also from the Hydroflex line. It's the Hydro Sealer. This is also in 12N, and I took the stopper out of this one and the other Kosas concealer. These two powders, this one from Too Faced, it's their loose setting powder. I was able to take the sifter out so I could get every last bit out. And then this one I don't think was technically in my everyday makeup drawer, but this is the e.l.f. blotting powder. This only had a little bit of it left around the edges, so I used the rest of it as a setting powder to finish it. One setting spray, this one here from e.l.f. It's the Microfine Setting Mist. I really liked this one. I have one single eyeshadow. This is from ABH. It's the shade Stone, and I used this originally as an eyeshadow, and then after a while I started using it as an eyebrow powder and a contour shade, and that's how I finished it. And I think it took me like over 250 uses to finish. Two lip pencils here. They're kind of in the same color. This is Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury. There is no product left. The last little bit fell out when I was sharpening it. And then this one from Nude Suede Shoes. This is a little bit of a creamier formula, but it is a similar color. And this one I wasn't able to keep sharpening after a while because the bottom started spinning, so I used some Scotch tape to tape the bottom together, and that helped me get a couple more sharpens out of it, which is awesome. These two are liquid lipstick minis from Stila. I used these both as cream blushes until they were gone. And then these last two ones are tinted lip balms. This one's much more pigmented from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Nude Romance. And then CoverGirl Sweet Melon. This was a really pretty color, but it was a lot more sheer than the other one. So those are all of the makeup empties. I'm going to put these aside and go back to the rest of the things that I was focusing on for these past couple of months. Let me pull my Project Pan items out first. So I have the Nabla bronzer, the Kosas powder. No, the Kosas powder's not in my Project Pan. This quad here from Charlotte Tilbury, the Merit Kava stick, the contour wand from Charlotte Tilbury, this blush here from Milani. I finally hit pan on it. I did not know if that would ever happen. It was just taking so long, but now there's like so little left. Can you see that? This highlighter from Charlotte Tilbury. Oh, and I do have a primer that I'm gonna pull later that is something that I put into the project this past update. So I'll show you that one once we get to that portion. Some other products here that I kind of just keep in, this mascara here from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Legendary Lashes. I have about a month left of this one, and then I'll pull in another mascara. This eyeliner from Charlotte Tilbury, this Essence Brow Gel, and this NYX Glitter Glue. I use this as an eyeshadow primer. And then I don't have much left of this foundation here from NYX. If you can see, it's pretty empty. I kind of have it lying on the side, and then I'm just using the dropper to scrape out whatever I can. So this one doesn't have much left in it. And then I was using the Milani brow pencil. I did use it a couple times. I liked it. I'm gonna put it back and swap it out with another brow pencil later. I was wearing these two lip bees a lot, the Merit Sangria Lip Oil and the e.l.f. Sheer Slick in Black Cherry, I believe. And these are both really nice. I just liked them for that time of year, that kind of like wintry. They were a little bit darker, kind of like that burgundy color, but they were sheer. And so they were kind of just like a more wearable version of that color. And I really enjoyed wearing both of these, but I'm gonna put them back. This one too, I was wearing the Milani highlighter. I would use this sometimes as a blush mixer or as like a highlighting primer on my cheekbones, and it was nice, but I am going to put it back and trade it out with something else. And these two are almost finished. This is a mini of the Champagne Pop from Becca. I only have that little bit around the edges there. So I'm gonna hold on to this, and hopefully this will be done in my next update. And same with this Kosas powder. I had hit pan on it in my last update, but now I have really flattened it out. I mainly just use this to set my under eye concealer. I don't use a ton of it. And then sometimes I'll reach for it as like a touch-up powder throughout the day. And so I imagine this one will be done too soon. And these were my two palettes that I was focusing on in the past couple of months. This one from Sydney Grace was the Enduring Love palette, and I mainly used this because that Darcy shade was a really great eyebrow color for me. I had a lot of red in my hair, and so I needed something to warm up my brow so it better matched my hair, and this was like the perfect shade for that. And as a result, I reached for other shades in this palette too, but I am gonna put this back. I don't have as much red in my hair, so I can kind of just go back to my normal taupey color in my brows. And this one I was really excited about. These are a bunch of singles from my eyeshadow single collection, and I do believe I reached for all of these at least once. I just wanted to make sure that these weren't neglected, and I loved them. I thought they were great, but I am gonna put them back. So I'm gonna put all of these Project Pan items and those almost finished items back into this little box here, and then I'm going to pull out my first drawer worth of products. I almost forgot, I wanted to really quickly talk about some of the newest additions to my makeup collection. I was lucky enough to receive this eyeshadow palette from What's Up Beauty and some of the nail polishes from What's Up Nails. And this is the Geodes palette. I love the outer packaging, it's so beautiful. And these colors are so pretty, and I think they're going to be really beautiful for spring. I have already created 2 or 3 looks from this palette. The first look I created with this palette was playing around with that green shadow right here. That is the shade Peridot, and that is so pretty. There is a matching nail polish here, and I did wear that in a video recently too, and I really like this like bright green, so I'm definitely holding on to this, especially for March. I wear a lot of greens in March. And then the second look I created was featured in a couple of videos that I recently did where I was wearing like that mauve top, and I had a mixture of this purple and this blue shade here and some of the warm mattes in the crease, and I really like shades like that. This reminds me a lot of Rose Quartz from Huda Beauty. A lot of the shades are similar. They're not exactly the same, but there are some similarities, and so a lot of the reasons why I love Rose Quartz is the same reason I love this Geodes palette, and even the packaging is a little similar too. So on my nails today, I'm wearing on the majority of my nails this matte color here. This is the shade Rhodonite, and it's a matte mauve cool toned pinky color, and I really like it. I have been aggressively cleaning and washing things, so this is not like day 1 or 2 of these nails. They've been on for a little bit, but they're so pretty. I like that it's matte, but it's got a little bit of a shine to it still. Like it's not super flat. And then on my ring fingers here, I'm wearing this color here, which is Earth-like. And it's a duochrome, so it's got like a purpley base and then a greenish blue tint to it. And so I am going to definitely keep this shade out, Peridot, and then I'm also going to pull out this one here in Crystal. It's again a duochrome. It's got a purpley base and it has a blue purple shift to it. I don't really wear a lot of nail polishes, but it's been fun playing around with them, and I have been wearing eyeshadows as nail polish recently too. I kind of got back into it after I mentioned it in my eyeshadow collection video. So I am going to keep all 3 of these in my makeup drawer to play around with some more. Now for a couple of things that I bought. I am sort of on the low buy, and it's set up in a way right now where if I finish 11 makeup products, I feel comfortable bringing in 5. And I finished 17 makeup products so far, so I am allowing myself to buy 5 makeup products. The first one I wanted to get because it was on sale, and I heard Stephanie from the Style Stumbler mention it, and it reminded me that this is something I've wanted to try for years, but I just have trouble getting my hands on it. And this is from Perricone MD, and this is the No Lipstick lipstick in the shade Original Pink. I'm pretty sure that's the shade name. And I really like this. Number one, it has SPF 15, which is perfect. And even though it has SPF in it, it does not have any taste or scent, which is the best. I have never found an SPF lip product that didn't have a gross taste to it that kept me from wanting to wear it more, and definitely from reapplying. And I also like that it's like heavy metal packaging, and it has to be unscrewed in order to open, and that way I can carry this with me. I can put it in my pocket and I don't have to worry about the lid just coming off. It has to be manually screwed and unscrewed to open and close it. And then this color here, this is a sheer lip balm, and it's just a beautiful color, beautiful for the spring and summer, and I have reached for it just a handful of times to see if I like it, and I do really like it, so I'm gonna keep it and wear it some more, especially when I go outside. This one here was kind of an accident. I didn't realize it was a makeup primer. I thought it was just a SPF product, but it says sun protection and makeup primer. So I think I'm gonna technically count it as a makeup item. I don't know if I'll count it as a purchase because I wasn't buying it thinking I was going to use it as a primer, but it's the Woe Glow from e.l.f. It's just a mini, and number one, this is tiny. I thought it was going to be so much bigger. It was $5 for this. $5 for, it doesn't even say how big this is, how many ounces or whatever in it, but it's so small for $5. Ridiculous. And this does remind me a lot of the one primer from Supergoop that they were trying to dupe. I haven't used that in a long time, so I can't say for sure. But it does feel really nice on the skin, and I would just use this as like a face cream. It doesn't have any noticeable glitter in it or anything. I don't know if you can tell. It's just a face cream. It has a little bit of a yellowy tint to it, but that doesn't really show up on my skin at least. I've worn it a couple of times. I think it's fine. I think it's nice. It's only SPF 30, so I will show you the SPF that I typically rely on a daily basis. But this has been good so far. And the last one that I'm the most excited about is this gloss here from Lisa Eldridge. This is in the shade Muse, and it's a little bit of like a brownie pink. And this is so nice. Once again, I love it because it doesn't have any taste or scent to it, which is phenomenal. And I also like that it is a little bit of a thicker gloss. It definitely lasts a long time, and it just feels really nourishing on the lips, so I'm a big fan. They just came out with even more shades, and I'm fighting the temptation to buy more. I do have some other older glosses to get through first, but this is beautiful. I'm really glad I bought it. And I recently did a Lisa Eldridge foundation matching video, and I was able to find the shade that would work for me best, so I probably would buy that at some point down the line. Not right away, but it's definitely on my list. So those are some new additional things I'm going to be bringing in to play around with these couple of months coming up. So I did actually buy a couple other face product, like skincare products that I'll talk about. This is kind of a catch-all basket with most of my setting sprays, primers, and some of my foundations, things that I like to keep standing up so that they don't leak or spill. And one of the primers in here, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Youth Glow. I did put this into my project pan, so I'm going to add this to my everyday makeup drawer. And I am also panning the setting spray from ColourPop, so I'm going to add this as well. This is the SPF that I've been really loving. This is from Paula's Choice. It's the Extra Care Non-Greasy Sunscreen. This is SPF 50. And I really like it. I use it just as a regular face cream because it's very nourishing. So I'm really glad I have it. And this 5-ounce bottle I think is under $20, so it's a really great value. And this is also a new purchase from e.l.f. It's the Pure Skin Dermatologist Developed Moisturizer. It's made with oat milk, ceramides, and niacinamide. And at first I was a little bit taken aback from the scent of it because it had like an oat scent. But I have not been able to really detect it since then, since that first 1 or 2 times I used it. I think I was just so used to using the other e.l.f., the one in the Holy Hydration in the little blue tub. That doesn't have any scent to it. It's the fragrance-free version. So maybe I was just so used to having no fragrance in my face cream that this one took me back. But really, I haven't noticed it since those first couple of days, and I've been wearing this a lot. I wear it every day during the day and at night, and so I love it. And if I'm wearing the SPF, which I typically try to, I'll still take a little bit of this and put it like around my eyes and around my lips, just because I don't like SPF getting near my mouth because I feel like it tastes disgusting. And I also don't like it in my eyes because it burns my eyes. So I'll put a little bit of it around my eyes and mouth, but I usually use a regular face cream first to make sure that I'm like fully moisturizing that area, and then use this as my face cream. So during the day, I don't use as much of it, but I'd also use it at night, and I love it. This one, however, I purchased this because it's from that same Holy Hydration line that the one in the little tub is, and I love that. That's one of my favorite face creams, and so I thought, oh, I'll probably like this. It's maybe just like a thinner version of it, and I've only used it a few times, but every time I use it, it is so sticky. I don't understand why it has to have that texture. Yeah, I don't know what in it would make it like that, so I am going to use it a couple of more times. Now for concealer, I am going to pull out this one from Makeup Revolution. If you can see, there's typically a window with product, and you can't see any more of the product in there because it's all the way up at the top. And so I don't know how many more uses I have out of here, but I do believe it's almost finished. So I will pull this one out as my concealer. And I am finishing up this NYX foundation, but it is almost done. So once that one is done, I'm going to pull out this one here from Merit. I believe it's my next oldest foundation, if not close to it. And I have worn it a lot already, so I don't think there's like a lot left. I do have another product from Merit, the highlighter stick, and that one, the scent has changed a little bit, and so I am worried that maybe some of my other Merit products might expire soon too. So I figure I will work on this one first and make sure I finish it before it goes bad. And I'm in the shade Silk, and that's a really great shade match for me, and it's really great for this time of year. This next drawer is a little bit more of a like hodgepodge catch-all drawer, so I have most of my lip products, some of my concealers and color correctors, and then face powders. I recently finished that Too Faced powder, and so I am working my way through this Charlotte Tilbury one, and I do take product from these bigger tubs and put them in a smaller tub. This is an old by Terry hyaluronic hydro powder thing. It's just easier to use, and so I'm going to put this in my drawer, but it's got this product inside of it. And then for lip pencils, I did recently finish the two like everyday neutral nude lip pencils that I was wearing, so I'm going to pull this one out. This is Peekaboo Neutral from NYX. And then these two right here, I have recently been wearing Bittersweet as a blush. I saw Sarah Rose talk about that in one of her videos. I think it's a great idea. I tried it and I loved it. And sometimes I'll mix this in. This is Sugar Glass from NYX. These are both really creamy formulas, and this is like a pretty warm brown. And so sometimes mixing them together takes down that purple a little bit. And also, I was able to create a mixture where it looks really, really similar to that Persona Bubbly color, because this is a really warm purple. If you slightly adjust the color, it can look like those pinky purple blushes that you see. And so it makes me feel a lot better because I can kind of get my fill of that color and, you know, see if I'd want to purchase something like that to have it long term. But if not, I can kind of just use what I have, get it out of my system, and then not have to purchase a full-size blush of like a really, really bright color. So that's what I'm using as my cream blush right now. And then for color correctors, I did finish my Flower Beauty color corrector, so I think I'm going to work on the Sigma one next. And there is a lot less product in here than there was in the Flower Beauty one. But if you can see, I've already hit pan on one of the sides. I'm really close to hitting pan on this side. Like, I really haven't used these that much for me to already be almost finished with one of them. So there is like so little product in here. In both of these combined, there is 1.5 grams. And I think the Flower Beauty one was like 4.5 or 4.6 grams in the one tub. So you really don't get a lot in here. Anybody else who has the Sigma Duos, are you hitting pan on this like super fast, or is it just me? Because I will admit, I do use a lot of color corrector. Now for lip products. I don't know if I have a specific color I want to wear. I would like to wear this. It's called the Juicy Lip Plump. I am in the shade Primrose. This is a really pretty color. I think it would go well with a lot of looks that I'm doing. And like I mentioned before, I'm not a fan of minty stuff. And so I am kind of slowly working through my minty lip products, and this is definitely a very minty one. So I am going to put this in my drawer and just try to reach for it a little bit more and see if I can't like finish it slowly over time. I have been wearing it a couple times over the last week or so, and it hasn't been that bad. It really hasn't been as painful as I remember it being the first couple of times I wore it. So this is coming with me, and then if I want a little more color, I think I'm gonna pull out this one here from Ulta. This is their Radiant Shine in the shade Fabulous. This is a super pretty plummy color. Love it. This is a really, really nice lip product. I would like to get more shades of this down the line, so I'm gonna pull this one out. And I would like to be more playful with the eyeshadow colors that I wear right now since it is spring, and so I'll stick to those nudie lip colors that I have. If I want to pull something random out to go with the look that I'm creating, I will, but I'd rather pull more colorful eyeshadows and not colorful lip products right now. So that's everything for this drawer. Now let's look at all of the highlighters, blushes, and bronzers that I have in my collection. I'm almost finished with that Nabla bronzer. Once I finish that one, I am going to start on this one from Bare Minerals. This is discontinued. It's the Invisible Bronze powder in Fair to Light, and this one, like, I have a pretty decent dip on it too, and it's a really beautiful, it's very similar to the Nabla bronzer, and it's even a baked formula. It's like very similar in that way, and so this is a great time of the year to wear this sort of color because it is more light and needs a little bit of building, which is great because I don't have a ton of tan right now. So that's what I'll pull out once I finish the Nabla bronzer, but I'm not going to pull it out just yet. For blush, I'm pretty serious about finishing that Milani one, but, and you know what, I think I pulled this Cosmetics blush in my last update, and I think I put it away when I was moving all my stuff into this new desk, and I did reach for it 2 times, maybe 3 times, but I didn't really get a chance to wear it a ton, and so I will pull it back in and wear it again. As for my other blushes, I've been thinking about this Buxom blush for a while. This is in the shade Seychelles. This is a really beautiful, like, bronzy pink satiny color. It's really, really beautiful. And so I would like to pull that out and wear it a little bit. Let me swatch some of these things that I'm gonna be playing with. So this is the Ulta Radiant, it's called Radiant Shine. This is a beautiful plummy color. And then I'm also going to be playing with this lip gloss here from Lisa Eldridge in the shade Muse. This is definitely more of a brown. Beautiful. Then I have Buxom Seychelles in the middle here. I'm going to add a little bit of the Cosmetics blush underneath. That is a really pretty color. And a lot more pigmented than I thought it would be. And then this is Peekaboo Neutral by NYX. Beautiful pinky color. This is Bittersweet by Urban Decay. Very bright. A really nice color for springtime. And then this is Nude Suede Shoes, a warm light brown. I don't need to pull any powder highlighters because I'm actively panning the Film Star Bronze and Glow, and then I'm almost finished with Champagne Pop, so I'm going to focus on those two. But I would like to pull out an old favorite, which is this Spotlight Wand from Charlotte Tilbury. This is something that I have loved for a long time, and I am one of those people who gets the hype, who likes this. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and a lot of people don't think it's like worth the money, which is completely understandable. Luckily, a lot of brands are coming out with versions of it, but I would like to bring it back out. I really like it, especially when I am going for more of like a, I don't know, maybe more of like a natural sheen. Now let's move on to the last drawer, which is all of my eye products. I decided to bring out the whole drawer because it is a bit cumbersome to bring everything out. This is currently how I have my eyeshadow palettes organized. It's maybe not the easiest to see every palette that I have, but it's kind of just the setup that I have for now. From this little miscellaneous eye area, I am going to pull this CoverGirl eye pencil. This is in the shade Honey Brown. It's kind of like a blondish brown color. So I'm gonna pull that out, play with it a little bit more. I'm almost finished with that Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner. So when I do finish it, I'm gonna go back to this one from Essence, but I'm not gonna pull it out just yet. And something I have been wearing, I wore a couple times last month and I'd like to keep doing it. This is a liquid liner from ColourPop in the shade Numero Uno. I've had this for a long time and it still works. So I'm going to pull this out whenever I do want a little bit more of a dramatic eyeliner. And then once I finish that Charlotte Tilbury mascara, I will pull this one out from Smashbox, but I'm not going to pull it out just yet. For eyeshadows, I do want to keep playing with that What's Up Beauty Geode palette. And I'm going to pull out ABH Sultry just because I am like sort of trying to finish some of these shades. Like this shade here, Pearl, I'm almost finished with. Twig I use as like a contour color. And sometimes I use Cyborg as an inner corner highlight. Just kind of like trying to grab for this palette more just so I can realistically finish some of these shades at some point. Not necessarily a pan that palette, because I don't know if I'd actually want to try to finish like this pink here, or this black, or this gray. Like, I don't know if I'm willing to turn it into a full-on project, but I do want to just keep it handy, so whenever I need a couple shades to finish out a look, I can grab for this. Now, I do want to grab the Rose Quartz, and I do like these light shimmery colors, especially during the springtime, so I'm definitely pulling this one out. I haven't worn it in a long time and I miss it. And I would like to pull out some singles and put them in like this little mini palette here, just so I have like a couple colors to reach for when I need a little bit of inspiration. So I'm going to quickly do that right now. So this is what I want to reach for in the upcoming months. I do have, like I said, I have those two palettes. This one from Huda Beauty. And then I also have the Sultry palette. I have the quad that I'm panning from Charlotte Tilbury. And then I have this palette here from What's Up Beauty. So I think that this is like, I mean, obviously it's more than enough. I wonder if it's even too much. No, this is good. I will play with these. I'll pan this. I'll reach for some of these when I need to fill out a look. And then I'll focus on these beautiful, springy, colorful pastel colors. Yes, perfect. I put these two singles next to each other, not really thinking anything of it, but now I think that would make like a really beautiful color combo. This here is like a peachy color. This is Issues from ColourPop. And this is a shade here from Sydney Grace called Keep It Fun. That would make a beautiful color combination. This quad alone, that's a really, really pretty color combination, isn't it? So this is gonna be my everyday makeup drawer. I did pull a lot of eyeshadows, I'll admit, and I am really excited about that color combo. I think that's gonna be really pretty. So like I said, I'm gonna do these like every 2 months, so my next update will probably come at some point at the end of April, maybe even the beginning of May. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you can think of any fun look color combinations that I can create with the eyeshadows that I pulled. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video.